Well, first of all, Kevin and I would like to thank you for being part of the webinar. First and mostly, we want to thank you for your partnership with us. We want to thank you for taking time out of your day to be on the webinar. We see you guys not as a competition, but more of a partnership and really an extension of RITE as we serve our mutual customers. So one of the reasons we want to do this is to give you some information on some POS changes that are coming down the pike with Microsoft RMS product, as well as to thank you and just have some time with you. And Kevin and I are going to be tag teaming this, and now I'm going to give it to him for some of the presentation at the beginning here.
All right. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it. And as Gary mentioned, appreciate everyone taking a few minutes out of your afternoon to go through this, and we will definitely be able to take questions and answers at the end of the presentation. All right, so if you haven't heard already, the Microsoft Dynamics Retail Management Systems program is officially end of life. That's Microsoft's term for meaning that the program has been discontinued. When we reach that July 2021 date, that means that officially all support for RMS will end. What's happened, however, over the last couple of years is we have the Card Defender program that many of you folks have worked with, and that has really extended the life and the usability of RMS. However, even folks that are putting in Card Defender are still facing this July 2021 deadline. Although, in all honesty, a few of them will likely continue to run RMS even when official support has ended. What we're seeing in the marketplace is other point-of-sale companies, other VARs, resellers, dealers, etc., as well as many merchant service reps. They're aware of this end of life, and they're seeing this as an opportunity to, go after that RMS user base and try to switch them to a different system. One thing we do want to clarify is, as of today, at least, Microsoft has said that there is no, version 3 of RMS or next generation version of RMS. So this also means that retailers are weighing in their options and looking at different paths. Of course, when someone changes their point of sale system, it means that they may also be looking at other merchant services or other processor options. When you're looking at a new POS system, it can also mean a processor change. And Gary, I'm ready for the next slide. So the goal here is we want to both maintain our customers as well as helping you maintain the folks that are using you for merchant services, that are under your umbrella. So we want to promote the RMS point-of-sale upgrades that maintain using Card Defender integration, and that in turn means that, of course, they get to keep you as their processor. We want to make sure that we're making retailers aware that this is an easy and cost-effective path that we work together on. One thing I like to say when I'm on site or talking to retailers in these positions is, as you look at what you're going to do with RMS, having Card Defender and having the same processor is one less thing to deal with. There's enough going on in running a retail business. The less you put on their plate, the less stress, the less things to do, the easier it is. And of course, we want to ensure that we're communicating a clear message to our customers, both from RITE side as well as from your side of things. And with that, we'll swing it back to Gary.
So we want to talk quickly about the benefits we can provide in some of this seamless transition and sticking together as kind of a partnered solution here. So there'll be no change of Card Defender terminals or processor. That delivers a cost and time savings and far less hassle and downtime. We all know that we've had the stories of people dropping terminals on a customer's counter and saying, these are going to work with any software you have, no problem, we can integrate. And we all know that that's not necessarily the case, and you have a customer, a retailer, who isn't very technical savvy, just having issues because they were promised something that that can't be delivered. We've worked well with you. You know the POS and what we can do and how we can integrate, and we know that you guys are good processors to work with, and we have ease of working with you. The other thing they can retain is a lot of their current hardware. So there's a simple migration path to new POS software. A lot of people, when they hear, a change is coming, well, they think, I just bought this receipt printer a year ago. I just got a new computer tower and I'm on Windows 10, 6 months ago. Do I have to replace that? Is the hardware proprietary? We can put those concerns to rest with high ability to retain the current hardware, including the credit card terminals. We also offer the ability to virtually have full or complete database conversion to the new system. A new POS provider cannot necessarily promise that, and if the conversion's there, they're not necessarily familiar with RMS, and there'll be not very good data in the system. We can also do up to 2 years history for RMS users to the new software POS that we can provide. So a lot of those people always wonder about my history, my sales history, my buying, how am I going to know what to buy based upon past years. We deliver that as well. So no loss of data or manual data entry needed, no paying a worker for 2 weeks of overtime to get the products and items in. We can help change it over to the new POS without all that manual work. And then the last thing would be savings. Retailers are always looking at the bottom line and cost savings. So we actually give a license credit for RMS licenses in exchange to the new software. And we put exchange in parentheses because we're not actually taking their software license key of RMS. We're just giving them a credit because we know that they have had an investment in the RMS software, and we want to honor that.
All right. So as far as some of the next steps, and on a real high level, at its peak, there were 38,000 retailers in the U.S. using RMS, and that's why it's important, whether you're working with retailers that have RMS or you come across them, and that's a big thing that's happened with me personally over the last 2 years. Is a lot of processors or merchant service reps are coming across retailers that are using RMS, and they're aware of the end of life, they're aware of security issues, and are looking for assistance. So we want to communicate, with all of your customers, whether they be existing or potentially new on RMS, to formulate a plan, that keeps you as their processor or makes you their processor, but updates their POS system. And that's something, every retailer has kind of a unique situation, but this is something we want to help each other on, whether that be, through a conference call or on-site visit, things like that. We also want to make sure that we have a consistent message as far as, when retailers are asking about things like expenses and costs and time, data loss, things like that. And again, depending on where the retailer is and where you are, communicating and scheduling that conference call or site visit. And then, looking at informing customers that, there'll be webinar opportunities to look at changing out their RMS software, but keeping their current merchant services. So this way we're, keeping that consistent message. We're helping each other, and, we're helping you folks maintain merchants that are under your umbrella. And so we'll toss it back to Gary for sports.
Yeah, and one last thing I wanted to add there is, really the bottom line is we want to serve customers well, and there is some vulnerability here to be promised the moon and very much under-delivered. We think together we offer them the best solution. We don't want anybody to be taken advantage of, and we can make this very seamless for them and protect our customers. Not protect them being ours, but just protect them as far as looking out for them as we all do. So we definitely want to thank you for your partnership and relationship with RITE. We couldn't do what we do without you guys. Again, as we want to extend the invitation that if you want to have a phone call personally with Kevin or I, or send an email or text us, or you have an on-site meeting about this, we'd love to do that. And we talk about current customers, but I know you guys run across RMS users that may not be on Card Defender, may not even be processing with you yet. That's also an opportunity here that we have to get them into the fold and get them to you guys as great providers and us as good providers as well. And so, like Kevin said, there's 38,000 RMS users. We'd like to take care of a lot of them and get them into the fold as well. Now, if you want to unmute yourself, we'll take some questions, and you guys can just kind of raise your hand and speak out or chat them to us, and we'll answer as many as we can right now.
This is Roy.
Hey, Roy.
Hi. Can you tell me a little bit about the point of sale you're replacing, or are you suggesting your Card Defender you're going to integrate it with any point of sale?
Good question. Thanks, Roy. No, we have a couple of options. As we said, there is no next generation RMS or 3.0 upgrade path. We've, as a personal company, have been developing a software called Cloud Retailer. We've actually deployed this for a lot of RMS users already, as well as some new customers. We've been working on that project for about 4 years. We really ramped that up once we heard of RMS's end of life. So that's an option. And then another Microsoft partner has put out an option as well. Neither are Microsoft products, but they are things that will fill that gap for RMS users. So we're not just going to integrate Card Defender to any old system, and that's kind of the point here. We need to have the POS that's going to be seamless. One other selling point about Cloud Retailer is that the $10 a month per terminal that's being paid for the monthly terminal maintenance, that goes away with Cloud Retailer because Card Defender integration is built in from the ground up.
Okay, so the Cloud Retailer would be their new point of sale system using existing hardware and existing merchant account. And then you would do the migration of the data from the old RMS system up to 2 years of data into the Cloud Retailer.
That's correct, Roy. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And the MS partner, or this other one, point of sale system you're talking about, which is a Microsoft partner as well, that's something completely different. Is it cloud? Is it locally based? How does that work?
That's server based. It's called Retail Management Hero. We have had some customers go to that. It's not as grown a product. It's more new, but it's also a viable option we can talk about because some people have just spent $3,000 on a new server and they don't want to give up that investment. So we would take it case by case based upon need.
And so out of the box, as far as features and functionality, it's comparable to what RMS does, or is it a little bit more or less? What kind of comparison? Is there a comparison chart that you have?
Yeah, we can get that to you. I guess what I would say is, I can speak more so to Cloud Retailer since that's ours. And that we basically took the best things of RMS, but also filled in some gaps and modernized the POS.
Okay, great.
If it's helpful too, and Gary can get this to you, we do have a video on YouTube that compares all three programs at kind of a high level. RMS, Retail Management Hero, and Cloud Retailer, kind of the key differences between the programs.
Yeah, that'd be, I'd love to see that.
Okay.
Okay.
You can do that.
Any other questions? If not, again, thank you for your time. We will end the session here. And actually, I might have a chat question.
Can you go to the first screen again for us?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sorry, next screen.
So, Bill, Bill asks, what is the new software? And one is RMH, Retail Management Hero, and ours is Cloud Retailer. Ethan asks, what type of support will merchants be losing after it hits end of life? And secondly, how long after end of life do you think merchants will continue to use their current software? So, you know, mainstream support's already done. There are no upgrades, there are no feature packs or bug fixes. They're really just supporting it. If you want to think of it like XP, you know, people were on it for a while after it's been not supported now. But at a certain point, it gets to not working, and it's something that they really have to get off of. I guess if Kevin and I had to take a guess, you know, customers may stay on RMS for another 2 years after 2021, or until they start seeing things really, you know, quote unquote break. We'd like everybody to be off it by 2021. We'll continue supporting it and taking phone calls as needed, obviously, to help our customers.
I'm sorry, can you go back a screen?
Sure. And Robert asked, when is the expected drop dead date? It is July of 2021. I think any other questions we can take offline. Vigilance, those that work with Kevin can reach out to him. Work with me can reach out to me, and I'll go to that last slide really quick here just with our contact information. Thank you for coming, and we will be sending out information to you, recordings, flyers, and we even have a recording of this webinar now. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.